Hello, everybody out there in movie YouTube land. We are the Cinefanatics. My name is Robert Adams.
I'm Chris Adams.
And welcome to the Marquee. Tonight, we're going to have a lot of fun ranking 80s summer blockbuster movies, which means this is going to be a ton of movies you probably hold near and dear to your heart. And maybe we do too. We'll talk about that here in a second. But first of all, I would like to introduce a special guest. I feel like she's been here before, if not actually a part of the Cinefanatics at one point. Welcome back, Torie Rose. Hello, Torie.
She's muted.
She's still muted.
Me.
There you go.
Oh, I said hello. Yes, I said we're going to destroy everyone's childhood tonight if you're a kid in the 80s. I was a kid in 98. I was born in 98, so I'm fine. Oh my
god, she was a kid in the thousands.
Yeah, I was a kid in the thousands.
In
the O's, as I've heard
He's
it
going to be born tomorrow, so...
Yeah, I'm currently in utero.
So... Yeah, you've got me who was born in early 80s. We've got my brother who was born in late 80s. And then Torie is being born tomorrow, apparently. Mm-hmm. So we got a nice, smattering of opinions of 80s.
That's a word.
Smattering. Yeah.
Splattering.
A nice, not splattering, smattering. Splattering is when we do 80s horror movies. So
we should do that.
That will be splatter. So, yes. We got a nice, little diverse group of people in their connections with 80s blockbuster movies. So this is going to be interesting to see. That being said, if you were actually alive and saw some of these movies in the theaters, because I don't think a single one of us saw any of these movies in the theater, except for maybe some of these movies got re-released in special editions or something like that. That doesn't necessarily count. But yeah, I haven't seen any of these movies in a theater.
Outside re-releases, I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah,
in a theater.
So if you did see the movies during the 80s, please don't be reminding us the entire time. We know it's okay.
Garth.
That being said, those of y'all in that, I'll touch upon that here in a second. Let's talk about the YouTube stuff real quick. Streamlabs.com/Cinefanatics. If you have questions, comments, issues, problems, opinions.
On the wrong side.
If you have a really good recipe for Salisbury steak, let us know. Streamlabs.com/Cinefanatics. That does actually sound pretty good. I'm a little peckish as I get started with a show that could be anywhere from an hour and a half to 5 hours long.
That's why you eat beforehand like me.
I just got off a phone call with customers right before this. So
hold on, did you just use smattering and peckish in the same stream?
Yes, I did. It's the smattering and peckish stream. Welcome to the Cinefanatics.
That sounds like a form of BDSM I have not yet encountered.
What kind of movies are we talking about tonight?
Movies to get pecked to.
No kink shame here. Speaking of kink shaming, if you would like to support us and you have the means, patreon.com/Cinefanatics. Hop on the tier that's good for you. And that could help us out, grow this channel and everything. Because you want to see all this continue and grow. And
don't be peckish. Smatter yourself over onto patreon.com/Cinefanatics.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, Garth. Hey, did you know I'm old? Because I am. Thanks, Garth.
It's going to be a show tonight.
It's going to be a fun show. I see a lot of people in the chat. Thank y'all for being here. One thing that we are going to do, because certain someones on our stream tonight haven't seen all of the movies that we're ranking. So like we've done before, we kind of like this idea, is for those key movies, stop hiding behind your name, Torie.
I was born. I'm sorry, I haven't caught up to all of them. Yell at me.
It's my Torie impression for the night. Kind of like what we've done before, we get to some of these movies, we are going to reach out to those of you in the chat. So those of you who have an opinion of these movies, if you had happened to see these movies in the movie theater, feel free to let us know your opinions at that time, because that's where they're going to count towards this ranking. Wait, what was Garth's name? Oh, never mind. Before we get started, though, I would like to have this bastard Johnny come out here and tell us what the rules are. Johnny, take it away for tonight.
Oh, got some rules for you, you nasty sacks of potatoes. Not Torie. She's wonderful. But
I'm a
the
good
rules
sack of
tonight,
potatoes.
so much easier than it was for the MCU. Thank you so much. We had a limit of 3 films for all the tiers. Because of that, it's going to be a lot simpler tonight, and I'll get to go home and show my life some sweet, sweet lovin'. Take it away. What?
Huh. Oh, that was a little weird. A peek behind the curtain of something there. Interesting.
Johnny, just do your thing.
Wonder if Johnny's friends with Demon Bear.
Maybe.
Yeah, they have like a same voice. A very similar voice.
Demon Bear's more a little hardy har har har, or how
Hardy, 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 hardy.
Not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so that's going to be the rules for tonight. There is going to be three films per tier. That's going to make ranking this really easy. That means that we're going to have a total of 18 films, and I would like to just hurry up and dive into this. So let's make sure everything's ready to go. And
not on this list. That was in the 90s.
Yeah. Hey, Carl, hit it.
What a crew we've got.
Yeah. Carl's
just
friendly.
burped in the mic.
I keep waiting for Carl to hit that and then like blow a fuse and the whole stream shuts down. Like that's never happened before.
That's the Black Mirror version of the Marquee.
The Marquee.
That'll happen when we have Vinny Mancuso on as a guest.
It becomes the Vinny Mancuso show again. That's great. There's a good reference for those of y'all that might be familiar with what that's referencing. So here's how it works. Those of y'all who have seen the Marquee before, you know it's tier ranking. If you haven't seen the Marquee, you don't know exactly what the hell's going on here. This right here is the Marquee. It's a tier ranking board. All of the movies that we're going to be talking about, we're going to be ranking from anywhere from S down to F. F being like the least, S being like superb or whatever S stands for. S is the best, F is the worst. Pretty much the way to think of it. That being said, please keep in mind that just because we're putting a movie in F doesn't mean that we think it's a bad movie, especially when you're taking on a category of movies like we're doing tonight. It just means that we prefer the other ones above the ones that's in F. Does that make sense? Everyone got it? We're good? We're still going to get shit about this online.
Yeah, no
tomorrow,
one's going to really get it. No.
Yeah, okay, cool.
That being said, if Torie puts a certain series of movies on this list in the F tier, she's being ejected from the stream.
If I put a certain series of these movies in F tier, I'm losing my relationship and my best friend. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a good one to do. I don't know. We'll see if I'm in the mood. We'll see.
Yeah. So let's get started. Where's my board so I can keep track of what you yahoos are rating me?
I'm just going to keep making root beer sounds into the mic.
Yeah, she's
and leaning in.
Not Yahoo.
Yeah, I'm not used to having a mic, so I'm taking full advantage of being able to do this.
You don't have to lean into the mic if you have it positioned right.
But I want to.
Otherwise, it would look weird if I'm down here this like entire time.
I want to feel like I'm whispering.
Yes,
I'm telling you a little
Marquee
secret.
ASMR from Torie. Thank you.
Like I'm telling you a little secret.
ASM Marquee.
Yeah. So we are going to get started with Torie with our very first movie here. Take it away on Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh. Okay. So when I was thinking about the Star Wars movies, because spoiler alert, I mean, they all came out in the 80s. I was thinking about if I'd want to like put them all in the same one or like it's really hard for me to distinguish between them. I'm not a huge Star Wars person, just to be fair. I do respect them. I do have fun. I wouldn't mind watching them again. Like they're not anything I like don't look forward to watching. But when I think about like what's my favorite one, Empire and Return of the Jedi come to mind. I've honestly seen A New Hope more than any of the other Star Wars movies. But I think because I've seen it so often, it lost a little bit of like something for me. So when I think about Empire, it's either going to be an A or an S for me. And that has a lot to do with the soundtrack. I think like the impact it has just thinking about these movies, because even though with every list I don't necessarily think of the impact, I think with these 80s movies a lot of them did have massive impacts on film and just culture in general with like the Star Wars. So I'm going to consider that with some of these. And yeah, I just think, Princess Leia's gorgeous, hot, love of my life. When I watched this movie for the first time, I called Han Solo Hunk Solo because I was that into him. I saw it when I was 16 for the first time.
He knows.
He knows. Yeah, he knows. And yeah, and just the quotes, like that quote, like literally comes up in my life constantly.
I love you. I know.
Yeah, and just the sass, and yeah, I enjoy this movie as a summer blockbuster. And so for me, I'm just trying to think of like what I'm gonna put above it. I'll put it in S. I want to put this in S.
Ooh. All right, she's safe on the stream for now.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, there's only like 2 Star Wars movies here, so
yep.
And she already mentioned the other one, and she didn't. She said favorable things, so I think she's good.
Yeah.
Too bad we were talking about the Beverly Hills Cop series.
Oh, yep.
Hey, Chris.
Oop.
All right, so a lot of people have this as their favorite Star Wars movie ever. I do not. I am not on board with Empire Strikes Back being my favorite Star Wars movie ever. However, I'm not going to put my favorite Star Wars movie above this one. My favorite being Return of the Jedi. We'll obviously get to that one here in a little while, but Empire Strikes Back is culturally significant when it comes to film, when it comes to movies, when it comes to blockbusters, when it comes to franchises, all of it. Empire Strikes Back literally is this where you use the phrase "this walked so that other movies could run"? It did the thing that not too many other movies have the cojones to do, being that the bad guys essentially won at the end of this movie. The dark ending, our heroes were lost. Everything was kind of up in the air as to what was going to happen to them next. On top of that, like, just as far as storytelling goes, it was just great. It introduced the major plot twist of Star Wars, which kind of informs the entirety of Star Wars almost. Just everything about it is nearly a perfect blockbuster movie. It's so good. Like, here's the thing. It's not my favorite Star Wars movie, but it is my second favorite. So honestly, like, if I'm going to say anywhere, knowing full well that I do prefer Return of the Jedi myself, I still have to rank Empire Strikes Back top of the S tier.
Okay. So on to me. Pretty much almost everything that Chris said. Ditto.
Yeah, screw you, Torie.
Yeah. Yeah, Torie was...
Did y'all turn off Torie's mic or...
Mm-mm.
Oh, that just sounded like it cut out.
Carry on.
Anyways, yeah, I agree. Again, my perception of these movies, of all the movies we're ranking, again, I was born in the early 80s. So some of these movies I actually did grow up with, not necessarily seeing them in the theater, but I did see them at that younger, impressionable age. Keep that in mind. I'll point it out again when we get to some other series of movies. But that being said, when I was a kid watching it, and to this day, Empire is not my favorite of the original 3. I do put Return of the Jedi higher.
We need to stop having the same opinion on things.
Well, I mean, it happens. I mean, a lot of like the movies that you were influenced by when you were a kid was because there were movies I was watching at the time. So if I watched Return of the Jedi when we were kids more often, by like osmosis, you also liked Return of the Jedi a lot more because it was the one that played more often. Makes sense?
Might be the reason.
Yeah. It's a very possible logical reason for why we have that opinion. It
like
also could be because of a ton of Muppets and Jabba, and that whole thing with Jabba was super cool.
Yeah.
That also. Anyways, that being said, because of other movies that are on here and we only get like say 3 S tier, I am going to have to put Empire at the very top of A. It will get the highest of A's on my ranking.
And with that, I respect Torie more than my own brother. What the hell?
It's an A. Thing is out of the 3 of us, we're saying S, S, and A, so it's still going to go into S. What, are you trying to wrap your head around this?
Yes.
You'll understand it when you see what other movies I'm wanting to put as...
No, I know at least one of the other movies that you probably want to put as S.
You know,
and you better be putting the other movie that I'm thinking in the S tier as well.
Okay. We'll see what that is when we get to it, I guess. Wow. So, next one, Chris. Start off with you.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Incorrect. Clone Wars is my 3rd favorite. Not Clone Wars. The Attack of the Clones is my 3rd favorite. Clone Wars isn't even in the top. What the?
Where's A New Hope then?
Further down the list than 3.
Interesting. Anyways, let's find out your opinion on Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Whoa, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Here's the thing. I think this is another situation like Star Wars where I honestly, I believe that I prefer personally The Last Crusade. I think I had more fun with The Last Crusade than I did with the other 2 Indiana Jones movies. But I will say that setting the tone for the entire series, Raiders of the Lost Ark has more weight to it. I think it's the one that more people generally prefer. And I think it set us up with the character of Indiana Jones. And it exemplifies another one of those classic blockbuster movies. You think of this is an example of one of those movies. This one, not the other 2. This one. This is one of those movies that when you think about movie, this is one of those movies that comes to mind. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like there's certain movies out there that when you think of the idea or the concept of a movie, this is one of the ones that comes to mind there. For me, it rates pretty high. I'm not putting it in the S tier. Again, we're going to mention this several times. This is a stacked list of movies. I'm putting this at the very top of A for myself.
Okay. I have completely changed my mind. I don't want to do this episode tonight because this is not going to be fun here. So again, kind of like what I was saying. Yeah. Kind of like what I was saying before is a lot of this is my connection to these movies as a kid. Oop. Chris knows exactly where I'm about to go with this now.
Oop. Get him off.
Did not watch any of the Indiana Jones movies as a kid. They just did not interest me at all. Like the whole archaeology thing, just boring. Just no interest. I have since gone on and watched them all, and all 3 of them. I heard there was a 4th one. I haven't confirmed that yet, but all 3 of the Indiana Jones movies are very good. They're very entertaining. I do like them. They're not movies that I've gone back to watch. I think I've watched Raiders maybe 3 times my entire life. I think Temple of Doom I've seen twice. And I just recently watched Last Crusade a couple of nights ago. So that being said, I don't have fond memories of this. It is a really good movie. If I had watched it as a kid, if I was into it, the 4th movie, you mean Air Force One? That's pretty good.
Is it not National Treasure?
Yeah. Had I been interested in like these archaeology adventure movies as a kid, they'd probably be much higher. That being said, I'm going to put Raiders in the D tier. I know it's going. I'm saying D, but it's because I have more love for the other movies that we're ranking on here. Thank you, Chris. You're the face of the entire chat. Oh, this doesn't work with the overlay.
Oh God. My head. No.
Anyways, Tori, where do you want to put this? I don't think your microphone's working.
Tori. She's having technical difficulties here.
What about now?
There you go.
Oh, that was weird. It wasn't me. I was making jokes. I burped and y'all just ignored it. And I was like, what is happening? And then I was like, oh.
Oh, I'm glad your microphone wasn't working then.
Yeah. So wait, it's my turn to go?
Yes.
That's a lot, Chris. That's a lot. Or sorry, Robert, not Chris. Sorry, Robert. That was a lot. Sorry. I'm all jambled after that mic thing. I made good jokes.
I'm gonna need a break for a second.
I don't love the Indiana Jones trilogy.
It's like a wave of people unsubscribing now.
I don't love it. I will say Ariana, my friend I'm going to mention tonight a few times, she showed me the Star Wars, the 6 movies of Star Wars and the Indiana Jones trilogy when we were in high school, because I had never seen them and she loved them. Or at least most of the Indiana Jones movies she loved. She loved Star Wars. And then she had never seen a superhero movie, and so I showed her all of those. So we like exchanged movies. And so Indiana Jones does have a special place in my heart because of that, because it makes me think of watching them with her. I will say out of the trilogy, this is my favorite one. I also don't want to say my opinion of the whole list probably until the end. Let's just say like there's not a lot of S tier content in this list for me overall. Like this is the first time where I've been like, is there 3 I can fit in an S tier? I don't know. Because when I think S tier, I do think like rewatchability and like I want to talk about this movie all the time and there's not like glaring issues in it for me and whatever. So saying all of that,
there's at least one movie on this list I guarantee you're putting in S tier.
Yes. But for this, because it's my favorite and because I do think it's a good movie, I love the soundtrack. This is, by the way, just to make sure, because I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but this is the one where the bar woman is in it, right? She owns a bar. It's this woman.
Yes. Marion.
Sorry, my phone just went off.
Marion.
Yes. So because of her, I really like her. I think she's really well written compared to the other women in this trilogy that we'll get to. Which I think are a big issue in the trilogy, or the way the women are characterized. At least one of the women. I don't know which movie it was exactly, but we'll get to it. The one who falls in the snake pit at some point. Which movie that was. We'll get there. I liked the woman in this movie a lot. I forget her name because I'm bad with names. And because of her, and because I didn't really find a glaring issue in this movie, and I did enjoy it, I will put it in A tier. So for me, it's A. It's not S because, again, I just... It doesn't quite get there for me, but I'll put it in A.
So the letters that we have on here have come out to ADA, which I feel like is a great description of our ranking so far, because this is definitely... looks like a tier ranking that qualifies for the Americans with Disabilities Act here.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. That being said, we've got 2 A's and a D, which would put this somewhere between B and C. For the sake of everyone's well-being, let's go ahead and stick it in B for right now.
I was not bullied into that, nerd. I was going to put it in A before they said anything. I was thinking about it.
What? Okay, hold on. Calm down,
I don't
everybody.
get bullied.
Calm down. Let's remember again. I know it was such a long time ago, but let's remember again that Chris put it in A also. It's this fool here that wants to stick it in the D tier.
It's true.
Again, like, I know mine's the outlier, and I'm completely okay with that, because, again, the movies that I grew up with are what holds the more memories. I wasn't interested in these kinds of movies. That being said, I still respect the hell out of the Indiana Jones movies. They just weren't my cup of tea. Thank you, Tori. Glad we got the emphasis on that.
That should be a clip out.
Yeah. My cup of tea at the time when I was a kid was closer to something like this. Superman 2. I loved Superman 2. as a kid. That being said, I do want to clarify with this one in particular. For this specific movie, I am talking about the original Richard Lester release, theatrical release, not the Donner cut that was released on DVD, Blu-ray in the 2000s. So we are only talking about the original theatrical release with this one. So it does have like the Eiffel Tower scene and everything. I love this movie. I thought it was great. They did a really good job with, now that we're past the origin of Superman, let's actually get into a Superman story. I love everything that they did with this movie. Terrence Stamp was phenomenal as Zod. Gene Hackman, this one I actually is probably like the one out of all the Gene Hackman movies that I liked Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. All the other movies, he's kind of like a kind of clownish, like he's trying to get real estate land. I know he's doing that in this movie too, but it feels like it's a little more muted in this. I love this movie. I put this in A tier. So, Torie.
This is one of the ones I said I hadn't seen.
Ooh, Chris, get that chat thing going.
Got it. Poll.
I think if I would have seen it, wait, which of the Supermans is the one where they end up in some ice thing at some point?
Well, that's his. That's the Fortress of Solitude. That's in pretty much all the Superman movies.
Okay, I don't know which one I saw, but I saw one of them.
At the end of this movie, they're in that Fortress of Solitude. This is the one where he pulls off his like S logo on his chest and throws it, and it becomes like a giant cellophane thing that wraps around.
Maybe I've seen the ending of this then. I saw something where they were in the ice place for a long time and the villain was in there.
That's probably this one.
Okay, yeah, I didn't love it. I didn't hate that part. So if it was up to me, it'd probably be a little low.
All right,
yeah.
So we got the audience polling right now. Again, the way the poll works is we'll take your ranking into consideration in place of Torie's ranking, essentially. And if you guys vote C through F as the poll winner, we'll end up doing another poll just to pick between C, D, and F.
Can we have a poll for where Raiders rank?
Don't tempt me.
They
Don't
start.
Look, I'm at this point I was half tempted to start pulling the chat for every single one of these, but I have to build the show a little bit different for that.
That's great. I do like Garth is saying, notice how Metropolis looks like New York City, complete with the Twin Towers and the Statue of Liberty. That's true. When I was putting this together, I was like, is this supposed to be Metropolis, or has he flown to New York City for this? This is like very awkward.
Yeah. Well, while we wait for the chat,
what do you think of it, Chris?
I like Superman 2. It's been quite a bit of time since I've seen it last, so, and that's gonna, honestly, it's gonna be kind of my answer for a lot of these. Quite a few of these movies fall under the I haven't seen it in a while because I just didn't have time to rewatch most of them before we did the Marquee this time. So, that being said, I do remember liking this movie, and I do believe that in my mind it's kind of up there. This might be like a hot take for some. It's a toss up between this one and Man of Steel for me as my favorite Superman movie. So it ranks fairly high for me, generally speaking. And if we're talking about like if we were doing like a Superman tier ranking, this one would definitely probably end up in the S tier or A tier, depending on how many movies we're ranking and where Man of Steel goes. So for this one though, like. Everything you said, like everything you talked about, obviously, you know, Terrence Stamp as Zod was like the blueprint for how Zod should be. I think even Michael Shannon's version in Man of Steel was kind of like a not derivative, but
reminiscent.
At least a little relative to what Terrence Stamp did first. He did his own thing, but that being said,
well, even like Callum Blue in Smallville,
even him, yeah. So for me, I'm putting it very middle of the B tier. That's where it lands for me. Not too high. There's a bunch of movies on this list that are definitely higher for me than Superman 2, but it's not too low either. It's a very healthy, very nice Superman movie.
Nice. How are we looking on that poll?
We currently have a tie between A tier and B tier.
Interesting.
Oh, A just took the lead.
Okay. How much longer do we have this?
We can end it whenever. We got 6 votes on there, and we've got currently 6 viewers. So I'd say we go ahead and end it here.
End it.
We got A tier rank from the chat.
All right. So A. So we got A, B, A. All right. So
see that girl. Watch
the ABBA. Really? You're doing ABBA?
A man after midnight.
Mamma Mia.
No. God. What the fuck are you doing, Tori?
Give me a man after midnight.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm gonna put it there at the end of A for right now. So let's go back to Tori.
I'm gonna argue hard that Raiders gets moved by the end of this.
Well, wait till you see where I'm gonna stick Temple and Crusade, or Temple of Doom and Crusade, because. Anyways, Tori, back to you. Let's talk about E.T.
E.T. Okay, this was one I think I saw early days in pandemic when I was like, oh, what am I gonna watch? And I was like at home and it was on Netflix or something. I'd never seen it, so I have no like childhood connection to it. I was just curious of like, well, everyone's talking about E.T. Didn't love it. Didn't really think it was cute. E.T. is really scary. Like him himself. I don't like him. He looks like a dried up baby sausage. I don't like it. I do like the scenes where like the human scientists come in and it's like very horror and they just the way it's like directed. I thought that was unique, but the overall like story doesn't interest me. I think again, I'd seen alien stories before this, just as someone who grew up in a time where there's just been a ton of alien movies. I get why this would be someone's childhood movie. Wasn't mine. I don't really get it. Plot didn't connect to me. I didn't feel anything emotionally with this movie. I'm sorry. So for me, this would probably be like an F tier.
Wow.
E.T., go home. No one wants you here.
Wow, Tori.
E.T., go to the bottom. Baby, we don't need you.
Yeah. So you're putting E.T. in F?
Yeah, I am. Stamp it.
All right.
Stamp it.
Chris.
We really should be just getting the chat vote on every single one of these at this point.
Just stamp it. There's nothing in that movie that's emotional.
I had no idea that tonight was going to be the night that I had the conniption and died.
Oh, just wait. I'm pretty sure Batman 89 is on here too.
Oh, it is. It's on here, but it's just we'll get there. God. E.T. is another one of those movies that for me is the same thing. When you think about a movie, E.T. is one of those movies that comes to mind. E.T. is a movie.
Yeah,
like
I agree
E.T.
with that.
The image right there, the bicycle going over the moon, so iconic. The quotes, the lines from the movie, E.T. phone home, so iconic. Reese's Pieces, absolutely iconic. You know, we're talking about like things that just like defined, you know, how he told stories, kind of coming from E.T. in a way, including the Reese's Pieces. E.T. is great. Again, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I know that I've seen it multiple times. E.T. is a wonderful movie. It honestly feels like one of those movies that's kind of like a comfort watch of sorts. It's not really like on my particular list of like comfort movies, but it is a movie that I think ranks as like if we were doing a ranking of comfort films, I feel like E.T. has the value of being a comfort movie in a way. I really like it. I would put this in the A tier if it weren't for just a couple other movies, obviously, on this list that I like a little bit better than E.T. So I'm going to put it in the E.T. tier. No, I'm going to put it in the B tier. Top of B, though.
All right. Same thing. Like this movie came out in 82. I remember watching this in school. They played it like on one of those days where a teacher didn't have anything to do or talk about. So like, we're gonna watch a movie, and everyone was happy because we just got back from recess. I remember liking it. I very much enjoyed this movie. I've seen it multiple times when I was a kid. This is another one of those, though, like, it is a childhood favorite, but there's other movies that are more like not only childhood favorites, but have continued to be personal favorites of mine as I grew up. E.T.'s not one I've returned to very often. I think since graduating high school, I've maybe watched it like 3 times, maybe. I'm going to guess. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's other movies that I cherish a lot more than E.T. I was putting E.T. at D tier. So.
Oh my god.
Gang.
Again, y'all. There's
Boom,
this
boom,
is a
E.T.,
huge
boom, boom.
There's a
Get
huge
outta
list
here.
of movies.
Get out of here,
Johnny.
Get out of here, E.T. Go home. That's the thing to me. This isn't a powerful enough movie to rank up with these other movies at all. Like, it just doesn't.
It's completely a matter of, like, especially if you saw these movies as a kid. Like, say, Torie, for you said you were born in 98.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't a kid during the 80s, but this movie was available to you to watch as a kid. And as a kid, you probably didn't watch this movie. You probably saw this and it looked just like any other movie at that time.
Yeah.
You didn't necessarily watch this movie and go, this looks like an old-time movie. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, no, like it's still like it stands the test of time. It wasn't interesting to me. I was like, take the little alien boy home. What are we doing?
I'm going to turn on Fortnite and start playing that while we're doing this ranking.
What are we doing? I hope like, I don't know if you all like 2 of the movies on here a lot, but 2 of the movies on here, I hate pretty viscerally, so.
Oh, no.
So we got F, B, and D. I'm thinking this goes either at the bottom of C or at the very top of D.
Just the tip of the D?
Tip of the D. Mainly because if we put it at the beginning, it looks like it says debt.
Oh my
D-E-T.
God. Put it in C tier. Put it at the bottom of C tier.
Nah, leave her there. Leave her there.
No.
For now, we can change it later. Let's just see how we rank the others.
You know, I am going to put it at the bottom of C.
My opinion here holds more weight than Torie's. I run this channel too.
I have boobs.
You can't argue that, Chris.
She's right.
I mean, I have boobs too, but not for the same reasons. I just.
Oh my God, Torie, stop
thanks,
it.
Torie.
Torie, stop it.
I have it because
you too, just
I like pasta and pizza. I can't help it. So, anyways.
Yeah.
God. Look at Jeremy's like, get that Dragon Ball skin. Good job.
God.
Anyways, moving on. So on to Chris.
Oh, good.
To talk about Return of the Jedi.
S tier.
Oh, okay.
S tier. Again, my favorite Star Wars movie. There's just, I mean, I don't have all night. There's just so much to love. This was the movie that the children loved back in the day. Again, all the Muppets, all the creatures. This is the movie that the teenagers loved back in the day. Leia, you know what I'm talking about. This is the movie that all the adults loved back in the day because trilogy ending.
Leia.
You know what I'm talking
brought
about.
such a great story to a close, and Leia. So this is absolutely S tier for me. Now here's the thing. It's behind Empire for my list here, but personally, yes, it does go above Empire for me. So I'm just completely confused. throw it in S tier somewhere. That's my opinion. He's already doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this real quick and simple. S tier for me as well. Torie, on to you.
S tier for me as well. I don't mind where it goes in S, because again, like Empire and this to me are like, but they're to me the best. Like when I think of Star Wars, this is what I think of are these two. So
Yeah,
I do want it to be clear that I did try to argue for the sake of what the general consensus is over the best Star Wars movie, even though I do like Return of the Jedi best. But yet somehow, some way, Return of the Jedi is ending up above Empire.
and it's okay.
I just like the Death Star stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it just feels epic. It feels like like literally planet-shattering events.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing to keep in mind with this. There's plenty of people that we all equally respect that absolutely love Return of the Jedi. So, and anyone else who maybe likes Empire Strikes Back a little more than Return of the Jedi, pretty sure they still respect us for allowing us to have an opinion. I feel like I'm like everything we're gonna say is like all defending why we're putting these movies where they go.
Twitter, please don't yell at us.
Oh, I don't know if I'll post
Twitter?
this on Twitter tomorrow.
Twitter, please.
You can say that, but you're gonna post this on Twitter, and I am not claiming the Indiana Jones.
I'll put my name on it. Fuck ET.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard on our stream, but okay. So Return, does it go above or below Empire? I agree with it being my favorite. I would put it, so it's my favorite. I would put it over Empire.
Well, if you and Chris do, then I feel like that determines it. Because to me, it's equal.
You know what? We'll go with this. This is our list. We personally like Return of the Jedi more than Empire, so put it above Empire.
All right.
I like how you're leaving an open space at the beginning of S tier, like there's going to be something else that slides in there.
I mean, I still have two other movies that I've labeled S, so it's possible. They might move around here, but we'll see.
I hope you know I just texted my boyfriend's Dwayne, spoiler alert. I just texted him. I just texted him and Ariana, like, what are your rankings of the Star Wars movies? Just because I'm curious by the time we get to A New Hope. And just autocorrect said, what is your ranking of the original Star Wars oboes?
Oboes.
Depends. Was it played by Droopy McCool?
Yeah.
That was a deep cut Star Wars reference for you.
Oboes.
Anyways. So that was what, Chris that started with that?
Yeah.
So it is on to me to talk about Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is a lot of fun. This is probably one of my favorite comedies of the 80s. Like, especially anything Bill Murray says in this movie is hilarious. Was one of those that unfortunately wasn't a childhood favorite just because I wasn't allowed to watch it as a child because it was all about ghosts and spirits and demons and, well, we didn't have...
Things changed in our family by the time I was allowed to watch movies.
Yeah, I know.
Can I tell you, speaking of not allowed to watch movies real quick, I have a coworker who wasn't allowed to watch any movies. Any movies. He has not seen he didn't see any movie until he became an adult.
Well, at least I should be glad that I at least got to watch The Incredible Mr. Limpet. So, that being said, Ghostbusters, absolutely love it. Again, couple other movies I like more. I'm going to put Ghostbusters. Let me see. What else do I have in that? I'm going to put Ghostbusters at a high B. High B tier for me. Torie.
Fuck Ghostbusters. Put it in F tier. Done. Period. I don't like it. I don't know. There's something... There's something about this movie I don't like. I don't know. Like,
Bill Murray's character.
I like Bill Murray. I used to see it on TV constantly. And maybe it just became one of those that, like, you just see it on TV every time you walk by your TV and your parents are watching something, or it's just on in the background and you just see the same scenes. And it just became uninteresting. And I never found it funny personally. I just don't think the humor is for me. I don't think this movie was for someone like me. I just don't. Just don't. So I just don't connect to it. The song is great. It's written by someone from my hometown. But I wouldn't watch this movie ever again unless someone
Huey
like
Lewis in the News.
no, the writer of like the dun, 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 dun,
Ray
dun,
Parker
dun.
Jr. Yeah, I'm making a joke of the fact that supposedly Ray Parker Jr. ripped off that beat from Huey Lewis in the News.
Oh, well, diss then. Diss to that guy. But yeah, I just don't connect to this movie. I mean, I get why some people like it. It's just not for me. It's an F for me. It's an F. It's an F. Join ET in the F. Join.
Chris?
Join him. Join him.
Ghostbusters to me is a franchise that obviously it's another one of those classic franchises, like most of the movies on this list.
All the movies on this list.
Pretty much all the movies on this list, yeah. Well, there's a few of these I wouldn't necessarily qualify as classics as much as just decently good movies. For me, Ghostbusters isn't that gripping of a franchise. There's definitely moments in this movie that I think are more iconic that if we were ranking just the moments of these movies, I would rank a lot higher than some moments from these other movies. However, the movie as a whole by itself, while there is good moments, there's good jokes, it's not... Ghostbusters as a franchise is kind of middle of the road for me. It's just an okay franchise. It's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite. It exists. It's out there. Those are movies you can watch if you want to. There's definitely even better like Bill Murray movies, in my opinion, too. We should do a Bill Murray ranking at some point. That's an idea. That being said, it's bottom of C tier for me. I would put it behind E.T. where E.T.'s at right now.
Join E.T., bitch.
So we got...
Sorry, I'm making sure I'm allowed to curse on here.
Yes.
I jiggled my boobs. Now I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to use naughty language, but jiggling of boobs is...
Sounds like some HBO standard or AMC for like you're allowed to bash in heads on Walking Dead, but boobs?
No, that was South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Yeah.
Horrific graphic violence is A-okay, just as long as they're not saying any naughty words.
Yep. It's good.
So we got B, F, and C. So it's definitely probably going to be in C.
Bottom of C. My vote is bottom of C.
B, C, F.
It's below E.T. It's below E.T.
Sounds like you're saying it's getting blowed by E.T. I'm like, it's a weird way of saying that.
Elliot.
All right, and then we'll move E.T.
Yeah, Malcolm, you missed that one.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to
Streamlabs.com/thecinefanatics for more boob jiggle.
That's a $100 donation.
Baby, I don't know if I'm that expensive.
I guarantee 10 of those dollars will go to Torie.
What?
We pay our women unequal wages here on the Cinefanatics.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
geez.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Shut this channel down. I'm trying to run a respectable business over here.
Oops.
Looks like someone forgot to boost.
Someone forgot to boobs.
Shout out John Roca. Oh man. Okay, so Chris was Ghostbusters, so it's on to me next.
No, I didn't start Ghostbusters.
I started Ghostbusters, I think.
Mm-mm.
I did.
Oh,
I started Jedi.
What? Who?
So that one was...
Why? When?
Yes, I started it. So it's on to Torie for this next one. Which... Okay. I don't want to do this anymore. The Temple of Doom.
Oh,
Ooh.
I think that's the bitch. Wait, Ariana's watching and she'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Is this the movie? This is the second one, right? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I've seen these movies, just been a long time.
She's
Is
the one.
this-
She was a waitress at the...
No, Torie, the third one came before the second one. Sorry, I'm being a smart ass. Go on.
No, the second one came before the first one.
Chris,
I'm sorry.
meet me outside. Wait, is this the one where she's like, okay, you could tell, is she completely worthless in this movie and like falls into a snake pit at some point or something and is just screaming and just like, is she blonde?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's her. This is the movie I'm thinking of.
Yeah, kind of, because she starts off as a waitress at this restaurant or this club at the very beginning, and then she just ends up just tagging along with them on their adventure.
And there's not real. I honestly, yes, Ariana's here. I honestly, that's what I remember about this movie, and like it was just so distracting. And Ariana and I watched it. She had seen it before, but I was watching her the first time with her, and I think I was like 16 or 17, and she was like 18 or 17, whatever. And it was just like glaringly like written in such like a misogynistic way. Like, again, I get if you like this movie and you like it's from your childhood and you just are like, this is Indiana Jones and I love Indiana Jones. The Indiana Jones parts were great. She was like a detriment to his journey, and I was like, why is she even here? And then you think the only reason why she's here is for boobs. And every time I kept thinking about it as a teenage girl watching it, I was just like, can you just give her a purpose? Like the first, and it's I think it's more annoying because the first movie did a woman right. Like the bar lady was cool. She was cool. She had strength. Like she was smart. She was witty, whatever. Give me something like that. Give me like a witty woman, like a person. She just felt like a detriment, and I was like, why is he letting her tag along? Like no one would do this. You would be like, bitch, go home. You're screaming, like I think she like triggers traps. Like there's some part where like something happens that I remember being like, she's making this worse. And so for that, like being the main thing I remember about this movie, to me it's like D. I'll give it a D because again, the Indiana Jones parts were cool. And this would be my reasoning if anyone asked me why'd you rank it so low. I just her D. Let's put it in a D.
All right, Chris.
Of the Indiana Jones movies, this is the one that I remember the least, even though I know I've seen them all. Therefore, it's the one that is probably my least favorite. You could probably qualify that to ripping the heart out of a man's chest. You know, it's not too big of a thing on my to-do list of things I want to see in a movie. But I do know there were some good parts of this. Again, this was the one of the Indiana Jones trilogy that would have informed me rewatching the Indiana Jones movies before doing this tier ranking. But from what I recall, from what I know, this one doesn't rank as high for me as the other two. I have this top of C tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. I kind of feel like I slightly enjoyed the adventure aspect of this movie more than Raiders. Although I think Raiders just had a better story in general. I don't know if that makes sense. I enjoyed the story of Temple of Doom, but I recognize that Raiders did have a better story overall. Separating my opinion from just knowing how movies are made and scripts and everything. That being said, I do have this also in D, and I would have had this behind Raiders in D. So we got DCD, which means it's probably going to be at the top of D.
Tip of the D.
You can only say that so many times.
I know.
Tip of the D.
I might have to end up changing that letter. We might reformat how the marquee works.
S, A, B, C, E, F.
Like, there's like no D in there.
No D.
I don't have any D in me either.
Wow. Don't go anywhere, Chris. You got to do the next one. Robert, show us on the doll where Spielberg touched you. That's great.
Can I give you an impression of Ariana's face when she just heard me say that joke?
What? It's great. Chris, Back to the Future.
Absolutely. This is an example of a movie that many qualify as a perfect movie for some reason. This is an example of a movie
incest.
that I qualify. Well, okay, you can leave. All right, well, okay. Just really steamrolled everything I was doing there. Just look. Okay, so this is a classic movie. This is another one of those movies that you think about when you think of a movie. Put it in.
You think of incest.
Leave the incest out of it. They didn't actually commit to it. It wasn't. There was never going to be actual incest in the movie. Just put it in SST. Good God.
Not actual incest, just like
implied incest.
Some light petting.
It's implied
Incest
incest. It's not actual incest. It's just
It's
implied.
light petting.
gluten-free.
Implied incest is better than actual incest. Quote me.
So I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Did you say put this in S?
Yes.
In
Put it in S.
S? Incest? What? Okay. Yeah.
I'm this close to being done with this stream already.
Not even an hour into it yet. This is a record. I'm really surprised we haven't had like PJ come knocking down the door yet. Like,
Brad Gilmore may knock down the door depending on what we do with this movie.
well,
Sure.
luckily, I'm gonna still stay in his good graces because this is one of the ones that I consider S tier.
My
This
brother
is
loves
a
perfect
perfect movie. I love the hell out of Back to the Future.
loves the hell out of incest.
Yeah, absolutely. In this movie,
Look, you're gonna steamroll me.
You being two brothers doesn't make that any better.
yeah,
I'll
it
say
doesn't
that.
really help. Tori, how do you feel about this movie?
Are you ready for this?
Do I have a
Put it in
choice?
F tier. I swear, if you put it in F tier,
I don't like this movie. I don't know what to say. The incest. I don't like mommy shit. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like, why are you? I don't like it. Like that's how it makes me feel the whole time. It's just, why are you? Why are you with your mom? I don't like it. It's like when 17 again happened and what she like flirts with her dad. I was like, I'm out. I'm out of this movie. I don't know. It's not funny to me. I don't like it. It makes me feel gross. It's grosser to me than any Saw scene I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't like it. Okay. I
Tori,
like
there's
Doc
more to this
Brown.
movie than that scene.
I like Doc Brown. He's cute. He's a cute little old man. All right. Marty McFly I'll put it in C. I'll put it in C. I don't like the incest. I don't know. Like Star Wars barely got away with it with me. I was like,
So if she's gonna put it in C, that would actually put it like in A.
yeah, Ariana said, just be honest, say you have mommy issues. Yeah, I don't like mom shit. I don't like it. I don't like the mom stuff. I don't want to see my mom as a teenager. I don't want it. I don't want to go back in time. I don't want to go back to the future.
Y'all hear about the piece of fruit that went time traveling?
No.
I'm gonna hate this.
Grape Scott.
It's the end of the show tonight, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the ranking where we were at. This is going to be it. I'm calling it right here. We're done. I'm just kidding.
Anyways, moving on. So on to me. Where are we at?
B and back.
What is Garth talking about? Who's Hugh?
I don't understand. He's talking about
He was 25 while Marion was 15. Oh,
Which movie is that?
Raiders.
Oh.
That was like when they were dating before Raiders.
Ugh.
Yeah. Anyways, so yes, nerd. Both me and my brother are wanting to put Back to the Future in S.
I see.
my
I will
S tier was
start.
Empire, Back to the Future, Return of the Jedi.
So is now a good time since we're about halfway. What are we halfway?
Ish.
This will be halfway once we're done with this one. So I will do what I was going to say after we're done with this one. So it's on to me ranking Top Gun. It's a really good movie. I don't think there's much substance to it, and I like the fact that now I can say the sequel is way better. Yeah, I have this. I have this in F. In comparison to everything else that's up here, Top Gun's good, but F. Torie.
F. Moving on.
Well, that was easy. Chris.
Is this actually the first movie that we have ranked on another tier list prior to this that we're bringing back for a separate tier list?
I mean, technically, I believe we did have Batman previously as well.
Yeah, both this and Batman, but this one's coming before Batman right here.
Yes.
So Top Gun is officially the first movie to be in 2 different tier rankings on our in our stream here.
Yeah, I don't know if our channel here has grown big enough where we have someone on staff who is keeping track of all these like weird insignificant stats like that, but sure.
Oh yeah, you can't count on Johnny or Carl for that.
They got enough to do as is.
They got one job each.
Demon Bear.
Plus they're fiction. Top Gun is a movie that I do enjoy. The first Top Gun. I think it's fine. It's good. On this particular list, though, it does not rank very high. This is going top of D for me.
Top of the D. God. Really?
Yeah.
Top of that dilk.
I didn't say the tip of the D this time. What do you want from me?
Please just
The
think
head.
of how you're phrasing all your sentences before you say them.
The head of the
It's
D.
at the... Okay. Tell me then. If something is going at the top of a tier, and that tier happens to be the D tier, what am I supposed to say?
Just politely take a sip of your drink and walk away.
No.
So you're saying the top of D, and the two of us said F, so it's bottom of D for right now.
Goes in the D tier somewhere.
Yeah. Moving on to Torie. Aliens.
Oh, here
Dun
we go.
dun. I mean, who doesn't love the lesbian energy? I mean, what else do you need? You need, lesbian energy, aliens, the cat. What more do you need?
More of the cat.
More
Jonesy,
cat, yeah.
Jonesy was barely in this movie.
Yeah, just
What
more
do you
cat.
need? What more do you need? All right.
More of Hudson. Hudson was awesome in this.
I'm gonna do something here.
Oh, this is not a good idea.
I'm gonna put it in A tier.
A tier.
Ooh.
A tier.
Ooh.
A tier. I'm gonna put it in A tier.
Fascinating.
Above all the other stuff. Let it happen.
Chris.
Fascinating. So here's a movie, y'all, that I just literally watched for this tier list. Did not see this movie before. Obviously, I just watched the first Alien for that was my 1000th movie that I've ever seen. So obviously it stands to reason that Aliens is going to follow that. Luckily, we had it on a tier list, so it kind of forced me to watch it sooner rather than later. And honestly, I like it better than the first Alien. I'll tell you that much. I definitely like the James Cameron of it all more than the Ridley Scott of it all. So this is probably one of the best sci-fi movies that exist out there. 100%. We could do like a whole like sci-fi ranking. That would be kind of fun too. But,
Just ranking franchises, not the individual movies, but like put like Star Wars against Star Trek versus Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, something like that.
Versus Alien versus Predator. I don't know.
So for me, it's not an S tier movie, but it is A tier. I really enjoyed it. Sigourney Weaver's character, Ripley, from the first movie to this one, I love her arc. I love what happened from the first movie to where her character was at in the second movie, and just the whole arc that she took in the second movie, being very hesitant to go back into space to just being this boss ass woman who is
Boss-ass
just
bitch.
like I didn't want to say it, but she's just she's a hero that everybody could look up to. So she killed it. She's such an awesome character. I love her. So
Just look at her in this image.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's badass while still like being like a mother to Newt. So
She's a boss ass power loader.
yeah. Get away from her, you bitch. Aliens. S tier for me. This is one of the most perfect movies ever made. I love Aliens. When my brother was watching it, of course, I was sitting there right next to him watching it as well because I was just giddy to be able to watch Aliens and especially be able to watch it with someone who's never seen it before. I love this movie. Just S tier all day long. So, that being said,
I'm not putting this in S tier if Back to the Future is not an S tier.
Yeah, it's not going S tier. So,
I have another movie in mind for S tier.
Well, I had a movie in mind that was going to go S tier, but it didn't go S tier. So I know what Torie's S tier is, and I guarantee you I'm going to bring it down.
Do you?
I guarantee I'm going to bring it down.
Do you know what movie it is?
Yes.
So
we'll see.
A tier is locked up. There's no other movies that can go into A tier.
Dangerous territory.
There's no way there's another movie on this list other than one movie that you're putting in S tier. No shot.
Anyways, I forgot to do what I was going to do after talking about Top Gun, so I'll do it here. Again, if y'all would like to send in any questions, comments, issues, streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. If you feel the need to give us money because you absolutely love who we are and our personalities and our opinions, that's how you can do it. Also, support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/cinefanatics because you want to see this channel grow and help us thrive with our opinions and whatnot. Anyways, just moving on. Next one is gonna go.
We're able to bring you great shows like this with your support. So please, actually, like for real, like
with your support. No, don't blame them for that.
Someone send in a Streamlabs tonight. Otherwise, Raiders of the Lost Ark goes even lower.
Start threatening.
We're holding Raiders hostage.
We're holding Raiders hostage.
That's great. Anyways, next one. Chris, you get to start us off, and I believe we're going to need to do a poll on this also. Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Woo! Yes. I'll start the poll after I'm done talking because I can't do two things at once. Literally just one more that I saw for this ranking. Also, I watched it the other night. Beverly Hills Cop 1. I liked Beverly Hills Cop 1. I liked Beverly Hills Cop 2. There was a space of time between the two. I can't tell you which one I like more. But I did enjoy this movie a lot. I thought it was a fun 80s action comedy. Eddie Murphy. This is like probably my favorite Eddie Murphy character. I know that might be like a hot take for some people, I guess, but I don't care. I really like his character in this. I think Axel Foley's a ton of fun to watch. I had a blast with it. As far as this list goes, though, this is one of those situations where it's like, yo, this is considered a blockbuster. And we had like a lot of discussion about this beforehand too, where we're talking about like all the movies on this list. And for this year, this was the big summer blockbuster of that year. And I'm like, this feels so out of place for me personally with other movies on this list, like Back to the Future, Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop 2. Not even the first one, the second one. I was like, I guess it made the most money. So, okay.
Real quick, just to piggyback off this, while you're talking, I want to see Garth in the chat. Let us know, since you were a teenager at this time, what was the hype around Beverly Hills Cop 2 when this came out in '87? Because when we were putting this together, neither one of us were like, "Wait, this is also going to be a summer blockbuster, like a big summer blockbuster movie." It feels kind of weird, but since we weren't paying attention to movies like that at that time, let us know.
And that informs this entire list, by the way. We're obviously going off of what made the most money. I think there's a couple movies on here that we didn't follow that. We just added them on here because they more so felt like they exemplified the idea of a summer blockbuster to us. But for the most part, this entire list is made up of what made the most money in each of those summers every year. Yeah. That said, I did like this movie. I did like it. Trust me, I did like it. I enjoyed it, had fun with it. It's going in the F tier.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much the same. Yeah, so Garth, that's what I thought. Eddie Murphy, I knew Eddie Murphy was huge with everything going on. SNL, 48 Hours, Trading Places. Another one of his extremely popular movies may pop up here in a little while as well. But yeah, I didn't think of the Beverly Hills Cop franchise being like a huge like summer blockbuster, because I am thinking like Star Wars, Back to the Future, Superman, even like Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Indiana Jones movies. Again, I wasn't interested in those kinds of movies, but those strike me as a summer blockbuster. And then Beverly Hills Cop 2, I was like, this seems weirdly out of place, but yeah, apparently was. That being said, kind of the same thing. I actually liked Beverly Hills Cop 2 more than Beverly Hills Cop 1. I thought it knew what it was doing, and I feel like it allowed Eddie Murphy to be more open and funny, and like it got a good story going with it. That being said, I'm still putting this in F, just because the other movies, again, kind of like what I've been saying this whole time, the other movies I have more of a connection to. So
let me get one more vote, and then we'll do a C through F poll. That is Tori's opinion of Beverly Hills Cop 2.
It's not the Beverly Hills Cop theme. What are you
What is
singing?
the theme? Go ahead, sing it.
America song thing.
Yeah.
In America.
So Axel F. Dun, 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 dun,
There it is.
dun, 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 dun.
That's from this
All
movie.
Yes.
All the dun 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 duns. It's from this franchise, not specifically this movie. All right, we got C through F. C, D, F. Where's it going? Ooh, tied at D and F right now.
Doof.
All right, so did we all? You and I did we both say F? What'd you say?
I said F.
It's going in F.
Okay.
The chat poll is saying F as a majority.
Wow, what a diss to Eddie Murphy. My name is not affiliated with this ranking. Thank you. This specific part. My lawyers
This is what Tori thought.
see you in court.
Chad is the voice of Tori on this movie.
Can I ask you a question?
No.
No.
Can you hear me if I whisper?
Yes.
Did we, 3 white people, just put the first black lead movie out of this list in F tier?
Absolutely, because there's more white people in the chat who voted on it too.
Does that make it right?
No.
Just Eddie Murphy. We love Eddie Murphy. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Yeah, because that has absolutely nothing to do with his skin color.
Hey,
At
just
all.
as a aside, Lando Calrissian is in Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back.
I mean, yeah.
I said
The
black
ver-
lead.
He was one of the leads.
Ish. He was there.
Look, that was my version of I know a black guy. Okay.
Oh my god. Star Wars had a black guy in it. I saw Star Wars. God.
Anyways,
Okay, anyway,
let's move off of this topic.
Anyway.
Please.
Ghostbusters, guys, come on.
Okay, so that was Beverly Hills Cop 2. That one we started with Chris. So on to me, and we're going to talk about the relation to Alien, their semi-cousin, Predator.
I love
the
incest.
what? No. God, I don't like where this is going.
Cousin.
Anyways, so Predator, I love this movie. Mainly because it doesn't necessarily like it starts off as like a good like action movie and then turns into a sci-fi movie all of a sudden. I love what they did with it. All the characters very well fleshed out, even though they were kind of meant to made to look like one-note characters. They all actually had like really good personalities, and yeah, it's just I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm gonna put it in B. It's kind of weird, but I love this movie. Stick it in the third from the top.
Hey, is that any weirder than I love the Beverly Hills Cop too, but it's going in F?
Yeah, well. Torie, Predator.
I thought this movie was fine. I like Prey more personally.
Prey was really good.
Again, yeah, connecting to it. This is a bit manly for my taste. So I personally would probably put it more like a D, like right in the middle there, right in there. Maybe above. Actually, absolutely above Temple or Doom Temple.
The Doomy
So like
Temple.
end of C, early D, like early D.
Okay. Chris.
Those of y'all who know me know that Predator is probably not my franchise. This is the only movie of this franchise that I have seen. It was a long time ago too. Exactly, Torie. Basically, what I'm saying is I don't really have any intention on rewatching it. I don't really care about the Predator franchise as a whole, and if my brother's going to crap all over Raiders of the Lost Ark, I'm going to crap all over Predator, stick it in the F tier.
All right.
Brother on brother crime.
This is my probably my hottest take of the night. Yes, I realize Batman is still coming.
Let's say Batman 89 is about to hit up, so. Anyway, so we got B, D, and F.
Badoof.
Man, it's too bad the F tier isn't the E tier.
B, D, E. It's great.
Get to the chopper. Oh, I know Batman 89 is coming. Again, this one's probably my hottest take of the night.
So B, D, and F, that would put it at the top of D.
Right where I want it, baby. Right where I want it.
Yeah, probably right where Temple of Doom is.
I need you to say that better.
Right where I want it, baby.
No, not you.
Right where
It's
I
at
want
top of D.
Oh. The apex of the D.
That's right, baby. Top that D. Okay. All right.
You want another impression of Ariana right now? And Sam?
Someone stop me.
Let me give you an Ariana impression. D.
Yeah. To be fair, that's kind of what I'm doing on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That myself.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, so next one goes to me, I believe.
E.
Next one is going to be. I want to know who framed Roger Rabbit.
Ooh.
Who framed him? Really? Who framed him?
Doc.
Yeah. This was a movie. This was another one of those movies I wasn't allowed to watch as a kid.
There's a lot of boobs in this.
Yeah, that's why.
To be fair,
Jessica's like
was
95% chest. She looked like she was going to fall over like any second. I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. Well, that being said, this is a really fun movie. And it's one of those, like, I kind of wish I did watch it as a kid, because I don't think I watched it until like late teenager, maybe. Watching it as a kid and having this impression, everything in your mind about this movie, and then you turn around and watch it as an adult, and all of a sudden, as an adult, you're picking up on all the innuendos and all the adult humor, which there's a ton of in this movie. It would be so funny to see like that reaction. This was a fun movie, though. I like what they did. A lot of the stuff that they did in this movie with the live action and cartoons blending, like driving the car here, it still kind of works today. A lot of it still holds up. I'm going to put this in C, though. I'm probably going to. I kind of want to stick it right there above ET in C. So, Torie. The suspense
Torie.
is like really.
Torie.
I'm gonna put it in S tier.
S
No
tier?
way.
All right.
I'm gonna put it in S tier.
It's a weird take, but okay. It's your take to have.
You know
Not
what?
judging
There's
you.
nothing more beautiful than putting it in S tier right by Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. I can't resist it. Also, this is a wild ass movie. You watch this high or drunk, watch this high. Wild ass movie. Wild ass movie. Look at this image. What more do you want from a summer blockbuster other than a cartoon car being driven by a real man, being driven by a cartoon rabbit, being driven by boobs? All right?
Boobs.
Boobs. I don't even remember what happens in this movie. I have
boobs.
no idea what the plot is. I mean, I guess Roger Rabbit was framed. I remember he goes into some cartoon land, and there's some animation creatures, and there's some boobs. That's all I need to know. I don't remember anything.
Happened in this movie. S tier.
I don't remember anything. I just know it was a journey, and I took the magical car ride, and I was fine with it. And you know what?
Let's just say there's certain substances that are not legal in the state of Texas, but they are legal in the state of California, which would probably explain most of the reason why Torie decided to leave Texas and go to California.
Yeah, as Jeremy Miller says, it does not have mommy issues or incest.
It just has badly disproportionate chesticles.
Weirdly enough, a lot of these movies have mommy issues or incest in it, and I don't know why.
Because it was getting like all of us like little boys that like, we love our mommy and we get to see that love.
No, stop this conversation right now.
This
No,
conversation.
this is not. It's literally only Back to the Future. I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about. It's literally only Back to the Future.
Stop.
Here's the thing. I kind of want to do like what Torie's saying and stick this in S just for a brief second, so it's up there in S. And I'm willing to bet that would be the brief second that PJ Campbell would pop in and start watching and see what we're fucking up here. And
you should put it in S tier, screenshot it, put it on Twitter, and be like, "Oh, we're still doing our ranking. Everyone come."
Chris, where do you want to put it?
Put it in F for the sake of the fact that Torie put it in S. I'm putting it in F. I was gonna put it in D. I really was, but now I'm putting it in F because Torie put it in S.
Put it above the Star Wars movies.
I cannot accept. Look, Roger Rabbit is a fine movie. It's an okay movie. I enjoy it just okay. It's just fine. Please. Yeah, I cannot in due conscience have this thing anywhere above the D tier for myself. Yeah,
Robert, please put it in S tier and screenshot it, please.
Meet me outside. Catch me outside. How about that? No, all of a sudden I'm switching this with one of my other F tier movies. This is F tier for me. If that's going to be the case, we're going to bring it much lower than S. We're not letting this movie rank that
Robert,
high.
I need the screenshot first so we can put it somewhere else, but I need it. Just put it on Twitter.
I don't enjoy Just Rabbit. No, because she's not real.
Robert, put it in S for a second.
So we got S, C, and F.
It is not an S tier. This movie is not above Aliens and Back to the Future. It is not above Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. It's not above Raiders of the Lost Ark. No.
Here's the thing.
Absolutely not.
So if we got C, S, and F, I think that actually is the spot it would go into. S, C, and F.
Just still higher than I originally
So between S and F, it would be halfway. It would be between C and B. But because I'm saying C, it would pull it more towards C. I'd say it's right there. It is actually in that spot.
Sam said the hostility.
Super convenient.
Ariana said put it in S, but not before Star Wars. I just want the screenshot.
We can give you a screenshot later. I don't want to sully the good name of the Marquee. Anyways,
Roger Rabbit is not a hill that you got to die on.
Yes, it is.
All the movies on this list, Roger Rabbit is not the hill to die on.
All right, so I went first, so it's on to Torie. Let's go with Coming to America.
After we dissed Eddie Murphy before, if y'all put this movie in F tier, I swear to God.
I'm not going to put it in F tier.
Okay.
I'm not anymore.
Okay. We cannot put the black lead movies in F tier. I don't know what world you think we're in.
Hey,
we're not
it's
not it.
Not our fault that the lead was black.
We're not doing it. Okay, so I like this movie. I like Eddie Murphy. I'm not a big comedy movie person, but it works for me. I think I just like Eddie Murphy. So I right now with how we have it stuffed, I would have put it in like a C, but because it's thick in C and we can't, right? We can only do 3.
You can do 3, but
vote for wherever you want to put it.
If that's the case, then I would do C.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying C.
Because things will shift.
Chris.
So initially I was going to put this in F, but because Roger Rabbit took that place for me. Here's the thing. I think that I personally liked Beverly Hills Cop 2 more than Coming to America. But that being said, I recognize that Coming to America is more of an iconic comedic movie for Eddie Murphy and just more of an iconic comedic movie in general than the second Beverly Hills Cop movie. So that being said, I would be okay if this bumped Top Gun down to F tier.
So you want to put it in D?
Yep.
Okay. This is probably my favorite of all the Eddie Murphy movies. I think it's between this and Trading Places, and I think Coming to America edges it out only because I've seen Coming to America so many more times. This is one of those movies. There's a lot of movies from the 80s, and I think this is what Torie was saying earlier, is that a lot of them happen to be on TV, and it just so happened to be when I'm like changing channels looking for something to watch, and I would land on whatever channel was playing this movie. Coming to America, this was one of those that I had never seen the beginning. I only like started watching it like a fourth or a halfway through and just finished watching it and absolutely loved it just based off of that. And then finally I sat down and watched the beginning. Coming to America's like that with me. Ferris Bueller's Day Off was like that for me. Breakfast Club was like that. For a while, I just always started watching them in the middle. I love Coming to America. So many good jokes and just, that's the classic Eddie Murphy for me. I have it in B.
So B, C, D?
Yeah. So it's going C.
Top Gun goes down to F.
So, yeah, well, no, here's the thing. It's going to go in C. Is that going to bump Roger Rabbit?
Top Gun goes down to F.
I'd be fine with Top Gun going down to F and shifting things.
Okay, so we want to put it... Do we want to put it over Roger Rabbit? I'd be okay with Coming to America over Roger Rabbit.
I'll allow that because we just said Eddie Murphy before.
That's pretty good, actually.
Okay, I like you say we dissed Eddie Murphy. I loved Beverly Hills Cop too.
We're not dissing Eddie Murphy.
Chris.
It's because we have Star Wars and Aliens. Indiana Jones on this list.
Temple of Doom is trash.
Hey, you know what? Here's the thing. We were not consulted when releasing these movies during the summer of the 80s. So therefore...
Excuse me, could you go back in time and put more queer movies in here, please? Thank you.
I don't know if that would sold real well in the 80s. The 80s was not the
not.
time for that.
No.
Not in like the pop culture zeitgeist anyway.
Yeah. What the hell is Predator on here? There it is.
It's in D. Every bump Ghostbusters down. Ooh, that's gonna hurt some people.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be at least one thing on this list that's gonna crush someone's soul.
Yeah, this is gonna be one where I'm gonna post it on Twitter tomorrow, and the phones are not gonna stop blowing up all day.
The phones.
Well,
yeah. Can we do a queer night and just have me, Ariana, and Sam do the Marquee? Robert and Chris just like watching the back.
All right.
No one said no.
Next June.
Next June.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm game for if we want to do, like next June, if you want to do like a Pride Month marquee.
Ooh. Birdcage.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
I haven't seen that.
What's the one? The Handmaiden? Is that the other one?
Oh,
Lesbian one, I think. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many movies that could qualify. Like, are we gonna put Pink Flamingos on there? Tu Wong
Brokeback
Fu,
Mountain.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show goes on there.
Oh, absolutely. Anyways, so there's Coming to America. So we are starting with Chris. Okay, so for this next one, I know where this could go, this conversation. Can we please, for once, talk about this movie without talking about all the controversy with it? We announced like a couple of weeks ago we are going to be doing the Cinefanatics podcast. As we get closer to December, I would love to actually break this down and have an actual non-humor based conversation about this movie. Let's just talk about how good of a movie is based on its merits.
All right, get the poll ready.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Robert, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Chris, is it a Christmas movie?
As you can see, it's a summer blockbuster. So guess what our opinion is on that?
Oh, good Lord. I was trying to avoid this. Y'all are just diving headfirst into it.
I haven't even seen it. So
I believe, yeah. So we're dropping a poll in the chat, guys. Feel free to answer that poll as you will.
Here's the thing. I agree with this. Nerd has the best opinion on this. Die Hard is awesome. Whether you consider it Christmas movie or not, it's an awesome movie, and I fully agree with that statement.
Why are there no really like good action movies with like Hanukkah undertones?
8 Crazy Nights?
I mean, 8 Crazy Nights was pretty good.
Comparable to Die Hard?
Here's the thing. The problem that I have with this is obviously, well, not obviously, me and my brother are not Jewish. I do enjoy 8 Crazy Nights, but I'm not 100% certain like how well connected, how well versed is that in like Jewish traditions. I've heard
Ariana,
it's actually
the pressure's all on you, Ariana. Have you seen that movie?
I've heard it's really close. I've heard it's really good, and it is faithful to actual Jewish traditions. But I don't know.
She'll give
personally
it if she's seen it. But yeah, y'all talk about that. I haven't seen this movie.
Yeah. So me on Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think Die Hard's a fantastic movie. It is one of those peak action movies. Again, we do just a generic action movie tier list. I know I'm doing this a lot tonight. Like if we do this tier list, but it's true. If we do like a generic action movie tier list, this is an S tier movie, easy. As far as this list goes, no, this is one of those situations where it didn't make the most money for the summer it came out. Surprise, surprise, because nowadays we would look back on this and think this was like a solid blockbuster movie. Like it feels like a blockbuster movie for back in the 80s. But it wasn't the top of it. It just exemplifies what we feel is a solid blockbuster movie. It also just happened to come out in the summer, even though it's got a lot of Christmas theme to it. For me, I do have this. Let's see, where do I have this? I got pretty high, actually. I have this in the B tier. Just a classic action movie. Ho, ho, ho. Now I've got a machine gun. Classic summer line, Classic summer. Summer. It came out in the summer, guys.
So you're saying you said B?
June. B tier. B
tier.
B.
Same thing. I like this movie. This is a fantastic action movie. There's a ton of really good quotes in this. God.
Christmas in July, except this was June, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good classic movie, and I absolutely love it. For me, I had this down as a C tier movie.
Make sure y'all vote in the poll.
Again, just in comparison to everything else that's on this list. That's one of the things. So while we're waiting for them to do the poll, that's one of the things with like doing the marquees. Since we started doing these marquees, it's really hard to pinpoint some of these movies. When you're putting them in a box, you're confining them into a certain subject or time or something. It's really hard. Like for this list, there's so many movies. Like there's a lot of these. If I was being honest, I would want to S tier a couple of more. I would I probably would S tier Empire Strikes Back, but because we're limited on it,
I'm telling you, you're currently S tiering Empire Strikes Back.
Look, yeah, I mean me personally, I probably would have also S tiered Superman 2.
Yes.
But
all right, we're gonna go ahead and pull. We've got Die Hard as an S tier as voted by the chat. So I said B. Chat says S.
I said C.
Sounds like
a high B.
High B or low S or low A. Again, the chat's representing Tori's opinion. So here's what Tori thinks of Die Hard. S tier.
Every single time.
Even though I feel like I know Tori well enough, aside from the Roger Rabbit thing, I know Tori well enough now to know I don't think that she'd put this in S tier.
Probably not.
So I'm gonna put it right here.
This is like Action Man movie. This is not Tori's bag.
Probably not.
Okay, and so I guess are we gonna go to me?
Yeah, I did Die Hard.
Okay. Oh boy.
Oh boy, is it the next Indiana Jones movie?
It sure is. Last
Oh,
Crusade. Which again, I just recently watched this for the first time a couple of nights ago. It was enjoyable. Like I actually thought this one was pretty good. The twists and turns. This was like probably out of all the Indiana Jones movies, this is the one that I felt like was closer to like National Treasure. The following like the little hints and clues to get where you're going. Yeah, I thought this movie was pretty good. I can definitely see that they were trying to make it closer to Raiders because I guess Temple of Doom wasn't as successful. So they wanted to get closer back to the look and feel of Raiders. Hence, we're bringing back the Nazis and we're having another face melting shot. I just thought it was a lot of fun. And the interactions between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery were really good. Especially every time Sean Connery was calling him Junior. It was so funny.
Junior.
Junior. That being said, I do have this out of the especially the 3 Indiana Jones movies. I do have this one F.
F? What? Chris, you just said nothing you said led us to F.
Again, you got to compare to everything else. So, Tori, what do you think of Last Crusade? While Chris is recovering from his heart attack.
I like this movie. I think it's, better than Doom by far. I don't like it as much as the first. But yeah, I think there's like a lot to like in this movie, and I think it's solid. So I'd put it like in B. Like right in that little spot right there. Right in that little spot right there. I'd personally like move Raiders up. I wouldn't put this before Raiders, but that's just me.
All right. Chris.
I've got to look. If Raiders is stuck in B, I've got to guarantee this thing goes up. So yeah, again, I'm going to do a manipulation tactic and say this is an S tier movie.
We're doing manipulation tactics.
I specifically like this movie better than Raiders. I think as a fair list, I think Raiders technically should go above Last Crusade. But this is like a Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back situation where I actually do like Last Crusade better than Raiders. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and rank that as an S, my list be damned. And we'll go ahead and slide this somewhere, hopefully in the upper B, maybe A slot. That'd be nice.
So we've got one S, one F, and one B.
I'm trying to save this, guys. I'm trying my best here to save this godforsaken list.
Because of the B, that would actually pull it. Just under Raiders.
That's not cheating because we are going to end up with only 3 in each list. I'm just trying to save our face here.
Also, keep in mind that we're going to have one final, like, where do y'all want to move stuff around at the end? So it actually doesn't matter too much on. Oh, yeah, that's right. The West Side Story America. I was like, why does this sound familiar? I'm not.
Yes.
Yeah, I know of 2 changes I would make right now.
Okay, so I started with that. Torie. We're actually we're a little over 1 hour and 40 minutes into this, and we're down to the last 2. Woohoo! No 3 hour 3 hour night. Yeah.
We pushing.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how much Chris wants to talk about this next one. But we'll let Torie start off first with Chris's favorite 1989 Batman.
That really just worked out, didn't it?
Yeah.
Meet me.
What
is that the Beaker version?
It was like the Beaker.
Yeah. So I actually saw this movie recently. I think I had said before, I love Jack Nicholson. I love Michael Keaton. They're both my fathers. My daddy is my father's. And I hadn't seen this movie for a long time. And I finally watched it. And you know what? It's not my favorite. It's not. I love them both dearly. And I really wanted to love this movie. But again, I gotta consider I was 10 years old when The Dark Knight came out. That was the first encounter of Batman I ever saw. And I don't mean that this is make anyone sound old, but that was my conception of Batman, was The Dark Knight. So it wasn't Adam West, it wasn't animated series, it was The Dark Knight. It was Heath Ledger putting a pencil through someone's face. It was, Christian Bale riding around in his fucking cars and going to hospitals and saving ferries of people, prisoners, and moral choices. And it was heavy. It was heavy shit. So what I like in Batman, I think, is different than 80s Batman. I respect this movie and love this movie, and I get why some people really, really love this movie. Jack Nicholson has really good moments as the Joker. I think the scene with the buzzer in his hand is really dark and sinister, and I really like it. I think Michael Keaton is a really good Batman. I think the plot is not as good for me as some other Batman movies. I think the Prince scene where Joker's flopping around the museum is really weird. Didn't work for me at all. Love Prince, love Joker, love museums. Didn't work for me. With that being said, this is a high B for me. High B. Has its flaws. Would watch it again. Would not be the first Batman movie I'd watch. Would not be the second Batman movie I'd watch. Would not be the third. I have a lot of other Batman movies in front of this one.
Okay. Real quick, we did get a Streamlabs in from Garth saying, You know who deserves an F? You, Robert. What? Why? You have failed tonight. Raiders goes in the D tier and Last Crusade goes in F tier. I'm going to save up for a trip to Austin to kick your butt.
Oh my God.
Wait, Garth, I might fund that trip. Hold up.
We're going to film this and get a reaction. This will be fun. Anyways, Chris.
I'm in a Streamlabs so that we can afford to pay for Garth to come here and kick my brother's butt.
That's great.
Why don't we skip me for now? Actually, we'll do something unprecedented. You go ahead and go, and I'll go after you.
Oh, this is a classic Batman movie. It's not my favorite of the 4 Batman movies, but it is really good. And it's one that like I've had to go back and like the more and more I watch it again and again and again on rewatch, the more I love it. Yeah, I agree with Torie. The whole museum Joker Prince thing is weird, but I kind of dig it. Also, keeping in mind that it's a product of its time, so Prince was all kinds of awesome at that time. So, anyways, yeah, this was a good movie. I do like Jack Nicholson as Joker. I'm not a huge fan of Michael Keaton as Batman. Just yeah, I don't know. It was weird. But I do have this in A. Chris. Put an F, Chris. Just put an F. We know you want to put it in F. Just go ahead.
So as we can see, there's one open spot in F tier right now.
Yeah.
Where a movie would just nicely fit in ever so gently.
Be cozy.
So here's the thing. We did a Batman ranking a while back, and I wasn't too fond of this movie as compared to the other Batmans. The Nolan trilogy is kind of more my speed of Batman. This movie was not. That being said, on this list, I have this in the C tier. Go ahead and knock Temple of Doom down to F.
Okay. C.
Unless, is this our last movie on the list? No, we have one more.
There's one more movie. So we're at B, A, and C. So A, B, C. So this is going to end up in the B tier.
All that build up just for you guys to find out. This is middle of the road for me on this list. It's not at the bottom. Suck it, nerds.
Well, not nerd. Nerd.
I used an S.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to make sure we weren't including him necessarily in the suckage, especially because he just sent in a Streamlabs thing with his opinions here. I'll read that here in a second, nerd. Once we do the last movie, because you do have the last movie on that list as well. So hold on, just a second. So we're going to put this in B. Now, where in B should it go? So there's two options with this. We could put it in B and shift everything up to S, or put it in B and stuff shifts down to F.
Actually, we could shift stuff up.
Yeah, I would say probably shifting stuff up, because looking at what the next movie is probably going to shift stuff down.
Yeah, I would shift stuff up because I'm going to make some plays for some changes at the end that it makes more sense if stuff shifts up for.
So what I'm going to do, let's go with...
Where are we saying that it lands?
In B. So do you want to put it above or below Die Hard?
I don't want Raiders in C, or not Raiders. Last Crusade in C.
I'm back.
It's not. It's not going to drop those down. It's going to bump up. Everything's going up to make room in B for Batman.
Then it's going to be behind Die Hard then, right? If everything's going up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
If anything goes in front of Die Hard, then
it's an A. Okay. Yeah. I would be okay with Die Hard being over Batman.
I would. I like Die Hard better, personally. But
I also didn't get to hear any of the shit Chris was saying about Batman. My headphones cut as soon as you were about to start talking about it.
Darn shame.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea what he said.
I said it's a C tier. It's not F tier.
Okay.
So that means Die Hard's going to get bumped up to A. So where are we putting Batman with everything else?
I'm okay with Batman being over Raiders.
Well, I know you are. You're okay with damn near this entire list being over Raiders, you miscreant.
I'm okay with Batman being before or after Raiders, but like right in that B spot.
Again, I'm gonna make some.
Maybe
plays.
Raiders before it.
Put Raiders before Batman.
Yeah, like put Batman in the middle of B.
I put them both before Batman, but that was me.
Like how you've stopped reacting to my burps.
Well, I mean, it's about the fourth time you've done it on this stream, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to know how quick it was we stopped laughing at the goats in Thor: Love and Thunder? Pretty much after the first time.
I laughed the first time. I stopped laughing every moment after.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie.
Well, on September 8th, you can get on Disney Plus and watch it.
When is Spider-Man going to be on streaming?
No Way Home.
Yeah.
It's on Stars.
It's not going to be on Disney Plus for quite a while. The Spider-Man movies aren't going to. They have a deal. They're probably not going to hit till like 2024.
Yeah.
Lame.
Which is kind of a bummer considering they're still technically part of the MCU.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, right now, if you want to watch them, I believe they're all on. All three of them are on Stars. So. All right, last movie for the tier list going to Chris.
Is it?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I guess.
Ghostbusters 2.
Starting with me, it's fine. The Ghostbusters franchise again is fine. I have really no opinions about this over the other one. I think maybe the first one is the more iconic of the two. Therefore, I think the first one should probably be ranked higher of the two. But there was some fun stuff in this one. It's Vigo, that kind of stuff is fun. It's all right, but there isn't anything about this movie to me that stood out upon me like thinking back. It's just more fun with the same crew. If you like the first one, you might like the second one, but as far as I'm concerned, the first one definitely belongs over this on the tier list. It's definitely over it on my tier list. So that being said, I would not be crushed if this ended up sliding into the F tier. Probably, I don't know where in the F tier, but somewhere in the F tier.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed this. Not as much as the first one. But I very much enjoyed Ghostbusters 2 as well. It's usually like if I watch the first Ghostbusters, I'm going to watch the second one pretty soon thereafter. That being said, yeah, I still prefer the first Ghostbusters movie over the second one. I originally ranked the first Ghostbusters in B, and so therefore I had Ghostbusters 2 in C. So that's what I'm saying is C, but yeah, ultimately I'm going to be okay with wherever it goes as long as it's below the first Ghostbusters. Torie.
F.
Okay, so apparently it's going to go after the first Ghostbusters. So.
Torie cut right to the chase.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Same shit I said about the first one.
So we've got 2 Fs and a C, which is going to pull it probably up into D, maybe, but that would drop Temple of Doom down to F.
Fine.
I feel like it would be top of F.
I'm okay with that.
That's fine.
Because, again, I did enjoy Temple of Doom, so.
Mm-hmm. Can we acknowledge that we have 2 Star Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, and Aliens in our S tier?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Apparently this is a very sci-fi heavy. Yeah, because almost everything that is like sci-fi based, with the exception of like Predator, and if you want to include Ghostbusters as sci-fi, everything else that's sci-fi based is like at the top.
Yeah.
For right now, let's go ahead and slide Ghostbusters in and let's talk about how we should mend this list.
Yeah, the list is fine. We don't need to do anything.
Yeah,
Absolutely not. We should be mending some stuff here.
The list is fine.
Nope. It is not done.
We could move
the chat will
Superman
agree
2
with me.
down. We could move Back to the Future down. We could move
Chat will
all
agree
of
with
A
me.
down. Switch A and B,
No.
All right. Ready to hear my play here?
What?
Switch Aliens and Back to the Future.
No.
I can agree with that.
No.
And switch Raiders of the Lost Ark and Die Hard.
That's fine.
I could probably be okay with that.
That one's fine. The Back to the Future shit, no. I'd rather have Aliens.
I would even probably still move Raiders of the Lost
I
Ark above
love
Superman too, but
here's the thing, I love Aliens, but Back to the Future is so much more a part of like who I am as a person that I feel like I want Back to the Future higher than Aliens.
I feel like for the sake of our channel and our face as movie lovers, we have to make these two changes I just suggested.
Aliens better be top of A then.
Yes, Aliens can stay at top of A.
Absolutely.
We were gonna have such a cool list. We were gonna have the Star Wars movies and Aliens in our S tier. Now we look like normies.
No, Back to the Future is still sci-fi.
No, yeah, but it's a normie S tier movie. That's expected.
Technically, Back to the Future is more sci-fi than the Star Wars movies are.
But it's
the Star Wars movies
normie.
are
Everyone
Star Wars movies
loves
are
Back to the
fantasy.
Future.
And then you said switch Die Hard and Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am here. Yeah, nerd, I'm here. My opinion is weighted harder.
And then if I were to take it a step further, which we're probably reaching the
push
peak
your
of
luck.
what we're doing. Yeah. I would switch Superman 2 and Raiders, but then I would also switch Last Crusade and Die Hard.
That one I could probably entertain. I could probably entertain switching Die Hard and Last Crusade.
So all these are, I'm just like, yeah, sure. Move it
Thank
down.
you for being here, Tori.
Move it down.
Thank you for being here, Tori. Appreciate having you here.
Yeah. Move it down.
So, I mean, I'm okay with like Raiders going above Die Hard. I could probably see a good argument for Last Crusade over Die Hard as well. I wonder, what does everyone in the chat think of that too? Because I want to see like some chat opinions on this. While we do that, I want to see get the chat's opinions on that. Let me clear my throat.
Yes, but it's looking at the list as a whole and then making some final decisions and stuff.
So, Commentating Nerd did send in a Streamlabs with his picks. So let's read off his picks here real quick. He has S tier, Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future, Last Crusade. A, he's got Jedi, Raiders, and E.T. B, he's got Empire, Batman, and Die Hard. C is Aliens, Predator, Ghostbusters. D, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Superman 2, Temple of Doom. You just want to stick all the 2s in D, didn't you? F, Top Gun, Coming to America, and Ghostbusters 2.
Empire
So, I mean, that
and
F,
D.
I mean, we're pretty close with that F tier almost.
That's the only other thing. I guess if I were to do one more thing, which I know I'm not going to get this, but if I were to do one more thing, I would move trying to figure out how to word this. I'd move E.T. to the front of C tier and then swap it with Batman. You know what I'm saying?
Put E.T.
So
at the bottom of B.
So C tier would be Batman, Coming to America, and Roger Rabbit, and
Yeah.
E.T. would be
Leave
at the bottom of
E.T.
B.
down there. I hate
Yeah,
E.T.
I like
was my
Roger
F.
Rabbit and Coming to America more than E.T.
It's E.T. though.
Fuck
E.T. is classic, but it's not that classic to me.
Fuck E.T.
No, I don't want to do that either. I don't like E.T. that much. If I'm not going to put him in S tier, I'm definitely not going to fuck him. I'm almost
Yikes.
certain that's what you meant by that, but that's... Anyways, moving
Yikes.
on. So swapping Die Hard for Last Crusade. I think Nerd was saying that he agrees with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be the last play I would make that I feel like I could get here. Because we're not swapping Superman 2 and Raiders, so. It's all right to have a superhero movie that high. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
As long as Raiders is in S or A tier. As long as one of those Indiana Jones movies is in there, I feel good.
Yeah, that's not too bad there. That definitely will pacify the angry mob. Well, shit, I want to hear the angry mob. Let's start some drama. No. That looks pretty good.
My screenshot of Who Framed Roger Rabbit and S tier above Star Wars would be the drama.
You're absolutely right. It would be.
That is correct. That would be some drama.
Oof. Anyways, so that looks like that's going to be it. Again, as usual, I'm going to clean this up and straighten out, remove all the gaps and stuff, and then I'll post this tomorrow and let everyone just have at it, eviscerating it. That being said, I feel like we've said that phrase so many times tonight.
That being said.
That being said.
You said that already.
Yes.
That being
Guys, we did an entire episode of the Marquee at the 2-hour mark here. So, big round of applause for everyone. Good job, everyone. I can actually go to bed at a regular time tonight. So, yay. Thank y'all.
It's only 9:30.
Yeah. That's really good for Torie, who moved out to California. So, you're 2 hours behind us. So, you still have a whole night in front of you.
I'll probably go to sleep in an hour.
Let's go ahead and remove the Marquee. Man, you gotta be quick with that.
I love his little thumbs up.
He just does like, but it's a reverse thumbs up type of thing, so kind of funny. Anyways, y'all, that is where we are ending tonight. A lot of good picks, a lot of hot takes. Most of those are probably on me, which I'm completely okay with and owning, and I'm okay with my movie opinions. So I would like to thank everyone who was in the chat. Thank you for watching tonight. Thank you for being a part of this illuminating experience that we had tonight.
That's a word for it.
Yeah. The smattering of opinions, basically.
The splattering of opinions.
Okay. Torie, speaking of smattering, where can we find you at?
Smattering. Torie X Rose, like it says below my little face. Torie X Rose on Twitter, Instagram. I post some fun stuff on there. I'm kind of funny sometimes. A lot of frogs, a lot of whatever. I've also been doing Twitch, so Torie X Rose on Twitch. I haven't in the last few weeks, but I will probably stream Sunday unless I'm too tired. So yeah, come check me out on there. Torie X Rose.
At that place. Chris.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Chris Adams MLP, as well as over at twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP, where we're streaming, having a lot of fun, doing all sorts of stuff. Pokemon, Fortnite, Jackbox games. We'll also be doing Jackbox games on Sunday as well. Probably, if Torie's streaming, it's probably going to be sometime after she's done, because that's usually how it's worked out before when you've been streaming on Sunday. So hang out with Torie. Come join Jackbox games afterwards. There you go.
Yes.
And you can follow us at the Cinefanatics right here. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Comment below if you're watching this on a rewatch. You weren't watching it live. Let us know your thoughts, feelings, opinions on where movies would go, and all of your takes on that. Make sure you follow us on social media at Twitter and Instagram at Cinefanatics MLP. As for me, you can follow me, Robert Adams MLP, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And yeah, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully this wasn't as painful for y'all as it was for me and us. But either way, it was a lot of fun.
Painful for you. Sticking the freaking Indiana Jones movies and the freaking D tier.
I like what I like, and I'm not proud. I am not ashamed to say how proud.
Nope. You should not be proud.
Oh, fuck this night. Anyways, a lot of fun. Thank y'all for watching. We will see y'all next month. I will be announcing what that Marquee is pretty soon, I believe. So
it's going to be fun in this apartment tonight.
Oh, yeah. Have a good evening.